Welcome to Unstoppable Mindset. There is a hidden power that many people spend their entire lives trying to discover. Some think it is found in speaking louder, proving everyone wrong, or making sure they always have the last word. But real power does not begin with your mouth. It begins with your mind. The strongest person in the room is often not the one who talks the most. The strongest person is the one who knows when silence is more valuable than speech. Your words are like seeds. Every sentence you speak has the potential to build or destroy, heal or hurt, open doors or close opportunities. Once words leave your mouth, they cannot be taken back. That is why wise people never speak carelessly. They understand that silence is not weakness. Silence is self-control. Silence is confidence. Silence is evidence that you are leading your emotions instead of allowing your emotions to lead you. Many people lose relationships because they spoke too quickly. Many lose opportunities because they revealed too much. Many destroy their peace because they reacted before thinking. Life is constantly testing your ability to control your tongue. Every day you are presented with moments where speaking feels natural, but remaining silent is actually the wiser decision. There are moments when silence protects your future. There are moments when silence protects your reputation. There are moments when silence allows truth to reveal itself without your interference. The greatest leaders understand that wisdom is measured not only by what you say, but also by what you choose not to say. Today we're going to explore 5 situations where silence becomes one of the greatest expressions of strength, maturity, and wisdom. These lessons are not about becoming fearful or refusing to communicate. They are about learning to speak with purpose instead of impulse, to respond with wisdom instead of emotion, and to protect your destiny by mastering your words. If you can develop this discipline, you will notice something remarkable. Your relationships will improve, your decisions will become wiser, your confidence will grow. People will respect you more because your words will carry weight instead of noise. Remember, a person who controls their tongue has already begun mastering their life. Let's begin. The first situation where silence becomes your greatest strength is when you are angry. Anger is one of the strongest emotions a human being can experience. It rises quickly, demands an immediate reaction, and convinces you that whatever you feel in that moment must be expressed right away. But that is exactly why anger is so dangerous. It makes temporary emotions feel like permanent truth. It whispers, "Say it now, defend yourself now, put them in their place now." Yet wisdom asks a different question. What will these words produce tomorrow? Every person has experienced moments when emotions ran high. Maybe someone disrespected you. Maybe you were falsely accused. Maybe someone betrayed your trust or ignored your efforts. In those moments, your heart beats faster, your thoughts race, and your tongue wants to move before your mind has had time to think. But your future should never be decided by a moment of uncontrolled emotion. One sentence spoken in anger can destroy a relationship that took years to build. One emotional reaction can close a door that God, hard work, and patience spent years opening. That is why emotional maturity is not measured by how loudly you can defend yourself. It is measured by how well you can control yourself. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against another person. It is the battle within yourself. Anyone can react. Anyone can raise their voice. Anyone can speak words they later regret. But it takes strength to remain calm when every emotion inside you is demanding a response. Think about the ocean during a storm. The surface may be filled with crashing waves, but deep beneath the water there is remarkable calmness. Your life should be the same. Circumstances around you may become chaotic, but deep within your spirit there should be peace that refuses to be shaken by temporary situations. Silence during anger is not surrender. It is strategy. It is giving yourself permission to think before you speak. It is choosing wisdom over impulse. It is refusing to allow another person's behavior to control your character. Remember this, people may provoke you, but they cannot control your response unless you give them permission. The moment you allow someone else's actions to dictate your words, you have handed them power over your peace. Never give anyone that kind of authority. Strong people do not win every argument. Strong people know that not every argument is worth having. They understand that protecting their peace is more valuable than proving a point. Winning an argument but losing your character is not victory. True victory is walking away with your integrity intact. Many people spend years asking for success while refusing to master self-control. But success and self-control cannot be separated. Every leader, every entrepreneur, every parent, and every person who influences others must first learn to manage their emotions before they can effectively manage responsibility. When anger knocks on the door of your heart, do not allow your mouth to answer first. Let wisdom answer first. Pause, breathe, reflect. Ask yourself whether your next sentence will build something or break something. Ask yourself whether your words will solve the problem or simply satisfy your emotions for a few seconds. Time has a remarkable ability to calm emotions. What feels unbearable today often becomes manageable tomorrow. What seems like the perfect response in the heat of the moment often becomes the greatest regret after emotions settle. Give yourself the gift of time before you give someone your words. People may mistake your silence for weakness, but never confuse quietness with fear. A lion does not need to roar every minute to prove it is powerful. Confidence does not demand constant explanation. Strength is often quiet because it is secure. Your destiny is too valuable to be damaged by a moment of uncontrolled emotion. Your relationships are too important to be sacrificed on the altar of pride. Your peace is too precious to exchange for temporary satisfaction. So the next time anger rises within you, remember this simple principle. You are not responsible for everything people say or do, but you are completely responsible for what you choose to say next. When you master your words, you begin to master your life. And when you master your life, you place yourself in a position where nothing, not even anger, can steal the future you are working so hard to build. The second situation where silence becomes one of your greatest strengths is when people insult you, criticize you unfairly, or deliberately try to provoke you. One of the greatest tests of character is not how you respond to praise, but how you respond to disrespect. Anyone can smile when they are appreciated. Anyone can remain calm when life is going their way. But the true measure of maturity is revealed when someone challenges your dignity, questions your worth, or tries to pull you into unnecessary conflict. There will always be people who misunderstand you. Some will criticize you without knowing your story. Others will judge your decisions based on assumptions rather than truth. There may even be those who feel threatened by your growth and attempt to discourage you with negative words. You cannot control what comes out of another person's mouth, but you can always control what comes out of yours. Many people believe they must answer every insult to protect their reputation. In reality, constantly defending yourself often gives more attention to negativity than it deserves. Not every accusation requires an explanation. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Some battles are won the moment you refuse to participate in them. Never allow someone else's lack of self-control to become your excuse for losing yours. The moment you respond with the same anger, bitterness, or disrespect that was directed toward you, you stop leading the situation and begin reflecting it. Wisdom refuses to become a mirror of negativity. Instead, it remains grounded in purpose and self-control. Consider the person who throws mud at a clean wall. The wall does not throw mud back, it remains standing. Eventually, the mud falls away, but the wall remains. Your character should be like that wall. People's words may hit you, but they do not have to become part of you. Their negativity should never determine your identity. Confidence is quiet because it does not need constant validation. Insecurity always feels the need to prove itself. A person who truly knows their value is not shaken by every opinion they hear. They understand that criticism does not define them, and insults do not reduce their worth. There is a difference between responding with wisdom and reacting emotionally. A wise response is intentional, thoughtful, and aimed at bringing clarity or peace. An emotional reaction is immediate, impulsive, and often creates more problems than it solves. Silence gives you the opportunity to choose the first instead of falling into the second. Remember, people often speak from the condition of their own hearts. Someone filled with bitterness usually spreads bitterness. Someone carrying anger often releases anger onto others. That does not mean you must carry what they are trying to hand you. If someone offers you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who does the gift remain with? The giver. In the same way, you do not have to accept every insult that is thrown your way. Your purpose is far too important to be delayed by unnecessary arguments. Every minute you spend trying to convince people who are determined to misunderstand you is a minute taken away from building the future you were created to pursue. Stay focused on your assignment instead of becoming distracted by every voice around you. There are times when your greatest answer is your progress. Let your discipline answer the criticism. Let your integrity answer the accusations. Let your success answer the doubt. Results have a way of speaking more loudly than arguments ever could. Silence in the face of provocation is not weakness. It is evidence that your emotions are serving your purpose instead of ruling your decisions. It shows that you value peace more than pride and wisdom more than winning an argument. Always remember that people are watching more than your words. They are watching your reactions. They are watching how you handle pressure, disappointment, and disrespect. When you remain calm while others expect you to explode, you reveal a level of strength that cannot be faked. So the next time someone insults you or tries to provoke you, pause before you respond. Ask yourself whether this conversation deserves your time, your peace, or your attention. If the answer is no, walk away with dignity. Your silence may never convince your critics, but it will protect your character. And in the end, your character is worth far more than having the last word. The third situation where silence becomes a powerful expression of wisdom is when you are working on a big dream, building a vision, or preparing for your next level in life. One of the biggest mistakes people make is announcing everything before they have built anything. They talk about the business before it exists. They celebrate the success before the work has begun. They reveal every goal, every strategy, and every ambition to people who have neither earned their trust nor share their vision. Wisdom teaches us that not every dream should be spoken before its time. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It spends a long time growing beneath the surface where no one can see it. While people walk over the ground believing nothing is happening, the roots are becoming stronger every single day. In the same way, your dreams need seasons of quiet growth. Not everything valuable grows in public. Some of the greatest transformations happen in silence. Many people seek applause before they have developed discipline. They want recognition before they have produced results. But applause cannot replace preparation. Dreams become reality through consistent action, not constant conversation. Your future is built by what you do every day, not by what you announce every day. Be careful who you share your vision with. Not everyone will understand your purpose, and not everyone is meant to. Some people will laugh because they cannot see what you see. Others will project their own fears onto your future. They may tell you that your dream is impossible simply because they have never had the courage to pursue one themselves. Never allow someone else's limited imagination to define your unlimited potential. People can only encourage you according to the level of vision they possess. If they have never dreamed beyond their comfort zone, they may unintentionally discourage you from stepping into yours. This does not mean you should isolate yourself from wise counsel. There is a difference between seeking advice from trustworthy mentors and seeking approval from everyone around you. Wise counsel strengthens your vision. Unnecessary opinions often weaken your confidence. Learn the difference. Every dream goes through a season of protection. Just as a builder lays a strong foundation before anyone admires the finished building, you must strengthen your character, your skills, and your discipline before expecting visible success. Foundations are rarely celebrated, but without them, every great structure eventually falls. Too many people spend more time talking about success than preparing for it. They know how to describe their goals, but they have not developed the habits required to achieve them. Success does not reward excitement alone. It rewards consistency. It rewards sacrifice. It rewards those who continue working even when nobody is watching. Let your work become louder than your words. Let your commitment speak for you. There is something powerful about surprising people with results instead of entertaining them with promises. When your actions consistently match your vision, you no longer need to convince anyone. Your life becomes the evidence. Understand that silence also protects your focus. Every time you explain your plans to someone who doubts you, you spend energy defending what should have been invested in building. Every unnecessary conversation can become a distraction from the assignment that truly matters. Protect your attention because your attention determines your direction. People often underestimate those who work quietly. They mistake silence for inactivity. They assume nothing is happening because they cannot see immediate results. But while others are making noise, disciplined people are making progress. While others are seeking attention, focused people are developing excellence. When the right time comes, your success will introduce itself. You will not need to force people to notice you. Excellence has a voice of its own. Character has a reputation of its own. Achievement has a language that everyone understands. So if you have a dream in your heart, guard it with wisdom, feed it with discipline, strengthen it through daily action. Do not feel pressured to explain every step of your journey. Not everyone needs access to your vision before it becomes reality. Remember this principle. Speak less about what you are going to do and spend more time doing it. Let your preparation remain private until your purpose becomes visible. In the end, people may forget your announcements, but they will never forget the results your quiet commitment produced. The fourth situation where silence becomes a mark of wisdom is when you do not have all the facts. One of the greatest signs of maturity is the ability to admit that you do not know everything. In a world where everyone feels pressured to have an opinion about every situation, wisdom teaches us that there is strength in waiting before speaking. You do not have to comment on everything you hear. You do not have to judge every situation you see. Sometimes the most intelligent response is to remain silent until the truth becomes clear. Too many problems begin with assumptions. A conversation is overheard and people assume they know the whole story. A rumor spreads and without verification, it is accepted as fact. A person's actions are misunderstood and conclusions are made before understanding their circumstances. This is how relationships are damaged. Trust is broken and reputations are unfairly destroyed. Wise people understand that every story has more than one side. There is what you heard, there is what someone else believes, and then there is the truth. The truth often requires patience. It requires listening more than speaking. It requires asking questions instead of making accusations. Never allow incomplete information to produce complete conclusions. When you speak without understanding the full picture, you risk becoming part of the confusion instead of part of the solution. Your words carry influence, and influence should always be guided by wisdom rather than assumptions. Think of a judge in a courtroom. A wise judge does not make a decision after hearing only one witness. Every piece of evidence is examined carefully before a verdict is reached. If this level of patience is necessary in matters of justice, how much more should we practice it in our daily lives? Before forming opinions about people, before repeating what you have heard, and before reacting to situations, make sure you have taken the time to understand them. Listening is one of the most powerful forms of learning. Unfortunately, many people listen only long enough to prepare their next response. They are not seeking understanding, they are waiting for an opportunity to speak. But wisdom does the opposite. Wisdom listens to understand before it speaks to be understood. There will be moments when someone brings you gossip about another person. They may expect you to agree, to join the conversation, or to spread the story even further. This is where your silence becomes a shield for your character. Refusing to participate in gossip does not mean you are ignoring reality. It means you value truth more than entertainment. Remember that words have consequences. A false statement can travel quickly, but the damage it causes can take years to repair. Once a reputation has been harmed, it is often difficult to restore. That is why responsible people treat information carefully. They refuse to become messengers of confusion or agents of division. Another reason to remain silent when you lack the facts is that life has a way of revealing hidden details over time. Situations that seem obvious today often look completely different tomorrow. How many times have people apologized because they reacted too quickly? How many friendships have been lost because someone believed a rumor without seeking the truth? Patience protects you from unnecessary regret. A disciplined mind does not rush to judgment. It remains calm enough to separate emotion from reality. It understands that truth is never threatened by investigation. In fact, truth becomes stronger when it is examined carefully. As you grow in wisdom, you will discover that people trust those who speak thoughtfully rather than those who speak constantly. Your words gain value when they are built on understanding instead of assumption. People will begin to recognize that when you speak, it is because you have taken the time to think, to listen, and to seek clarity. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where the facts are incomplete, resist the urge to fill in the blanks with your own assumptions. Choose patience over haste. Choose listening over reacting. Choose understanding over judging. Silence in those moments is not ignorance, it is wisdom waiting for truth. And when truth finally comes to light, you will be grateful that you protected your integrity by speaking only after you truly understood the situation. The fifth and final situation where silence becomes one of your greatest strengths is when your words will not add value to the situation. Every time you open your mouth, you are making a choice. You are either building or breaking, encouraging or discouraging, bringing clarity or creating confusion. That is why wise people never speak simply because there is an opportunity to speak. They speak because they have something meaningful to contribute. We live in a world filled with constant noise. People talk without thinking, argue without listening, and speak just to be noticed. Social media, daily conversations, and endless opinions have made many people believe that every thought must be expressed. But wisdom teaches a different principle. Just because you can say something does not mean you should. Before speaking, ask yourself a simple question. Will my words improve this moment? If the answer is no, silence may be the better choice. Words that do not solve a problem, encourage a person, or communicate truth often become unnecessary weight. They consume energy without producing anything valuable. There are conversations that only exist to spread negativity. There are arguments that have no intention of reaching understanding. There are debates where both sides are more interested in winning than learning. Entering those conversations often steals your peace while accomplishing very little. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Your time is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Every unnecessary conversation takes time away from your purpose. Every meaningless argument drains emotional energy that could have been invested in your family, your dreams, your growth, or your relationship with God. Learn to guard your attention, because wherever your attention goes, your life follows. A wise person understands that words are like currency. Just as you would not spend money carelessly, do not spend your words carelessly. Speak with intention. Speak with purpose. Speak when your words can heal, inspire, teach, encourage, or provide direction. When your speech carries value, people naturally begin to listen because they know your words are thoughtful rather than impulsive. One of the greatest signs of confidence is not the ability to dominate every conversation. It is the ability to listen with patience and speak with purpose. People who constantly interrupt others often reveal insecurity rather than strength. Truly confident people are comfortable allowing others to speak because they know their value does not depend on being the loudest voice in the room. There will be moments when someone expects you to join in complaining about life, criticizing another person, or focusing on everything that is wrong. You have a choice. You can become another voice, adding to the negativity, or you can choose silence and protect the atmosphere around you. Your peace is too valuable to be exchanged for conversations that produce no growth. Remember, your words create influence. Children are influenced by what they hear. Friends are influenced by what they hear. Families, teams, and communities are shaped by the conversations that happen every day. If your words consistently bring hope, wisdom, and encouragement, your influence will become a source of strength for others. But if your words are careless, they can weaken the very people you were meant to inspire. There is also wisdom in allowing silence to give others space to speak. Sometimes people do not need advice. They need someone who will genuinely listen. Your quiet attention can become one of the greatest gifts you ever give another person. Listening communicates respect. It tells people that their thoughts matter and that they have been heard. Never mistake silence for emptiness. Silence often creates room for reflection, understanding, and better decisions. Many of life's greatest insights come not in moments of endless talking, but in moments of thoughtful quietness. When you slow down and choose your words carefully, you begin to speak with greater impact because every sentence carries purpose. As you continue growing in character and wisdom, let this become one of the principles that guides your life. Never speak just to fill the silence. Speak to add value. Speak to bring peace. Speak to strengthen. Speak to encourage. And when your words cannot improve the situation, have the courage to remain silent. Because in the end, people may not remember every conversation you had, but they will always remember how your words made them feel. Let your voice become a source of wisdom, and let your silence become a reflection of your strength. When you master both, you become a person whose presence brings peace, whose words carry weight, and whose life quietly inspires everyone around you.